Hey YouTube, hi, how is everybody? Well, you don't know me, but you will. Um, I'm starting a brand new show here on YouTube. It's called CLAAT Revolt, and it's basically a program that is looking at icons and movements, and we're looking at it from a fashion perspective, how these people or movements or whatever have impacted fashion in whatever way, whether it is in terms of colors, um, styles, emblems, whatever. So that's really what we're on about. Obviously, this show is here to put on rather by CLAAT 876, and there's Spiral Booking and Fashions. You have to check that out, and Mother Earth Creations. All right, so we'll tell you what they're all about in time, but for now, just know that it's sponsored by all these things. Yes, these three programs. All right, so we're gonna start at the beginning. What is an icon? And we're gonna read. I've stopped using my book. If you know me from TikTok, I use a book, but I've stopped using the book, right? So I've evolved. I'm using technology now, so I'm gonna try to read from my phone. All right, so what is an icon? An icon is a symbol or an image that represents something significant, often embodying a deeper meaning or values, right? In a broader sense, an icon can refer to a person, object, or concept that holds cultural, religious, or historical importance. And you have different types of icons, obviously. Yes, so that's what an icon is. It's some significant person, item, values, whatever that you hold on to that has somehow stood out. And you have cultural icons, religious icons, technological icons, and obviously fashion icons, and these might interchange, pending, so we'll have to look at it on a whole broad perspective. But let's just get a little idea of what icons really are. So cultural icon, it's a person or an object that is widely recognized or admired for their influence in society. For example, obviously Bob Marley is a cultural icon representing reggae music and Rastafarian philosophy. You have religious icons, an image or a symbol used in a religious practice, often representing sacred figures or spiritual concepts, like like a Christian icon, somebody like a saint, Saint Paul or Saint Peter. You have technology icon, a graphical symbol on a computer or a device that represents a program or function. And in fashion, an icon might refer to someone whose style has had a lasting impact, or a garment that has become a symbolic in a certain time or culture or movement. Yes, so that's a nutshell of icons and the different types of icons. All right, so now we're gonna go to like movement. What is a movement? No, not that kind of movement. All right, no, movement as in a collective, all right, a movement is a collective effort by a group of people or society to promote, challenge, or create change in cultural, social, political, or artistic aspects of life. Movements often arise in response to shared concerns or desires, and are driven by a set of ideals, values, or goals. Some examples are social movements, political movements, artistic and cultural movements. All right, and we're going to look at these individually. So social movement, a coordinated effort to address issues like civil rights, women's rights, or environmental protection. For example, the civil rights movement in the USA aimed to end racial discrimination and promote equality. Yes, that's one movement. Agree or disagree? Political movement, a group or coalition working to achieve specific political outcomes such as policy change, revolution, or reforms. The Rastafarian movement, for example, has been both political and spiritual in advocating for the recognition of African heritage. And you have the artistic or cultural movement, a trend or shift in the way art, fashion, literature, or music is created and interpreted. The Harlem Renaissance, for instance, was a cultural movement that celebrated black culture through art and literature. Movements typically reflect a desire to challenge the status quo and can shape society by influencing laws, attitudes, and trends across various domains, right? So that is a basic look at what icons and movements are about, and of course our topics will include revolutions and rebellions, and how these things affect fashion. All right, so that is where we're heading, and this is particularly important to CLAAT because our fundamentals is based on Rastafarian philosophy. Yes, though we look back into our history, it is all based on our Rastafarian philosophies that we have stood on, which if you don't know your past, you can't know your future, and Rastafarian philosophy, obviously here it is expressed, has been instrumental in as a movement, and has created many icons, a lot of which are unsung icons. You hear that? Icons, yes, that's what we should call them. Icons, yes. Yes, a lot of them are unsung, and in my CLAAT Revolt, I am going to start us right there, right at the beginning of why we are who we are at CLAAT 876. Yes, Rastafari. Yes, so we're gonna discuss, where did Rastafari come from? Who are the important people in this movement? The icons vary, and a lot of times we talk about the obvious, the Bob Marleys and these, but there are many people underground who have shaped the Rastafari movement, which ultimately have shaped, a lot of what we embrace as Rastafari identity, hair, colors, style of clothing, all of these things have been impacted by a lot of Rastafarian icons who have not been openly or publicly mentioned, and a lot of these we want to look into. Wondering why my glasses are lean? So I broke my glasses and I'm missing the handle. All right, so I'm operating like a one-handed bandit for the time being. Pay no attention to that. All right, yeah, just stay focused on the thing, right? So yeah, so we want to start off with the Rastafari movement, and obviously we're going to start right at the beginning with Mr. Howell, who is spoken of, but in my ideas, he seems to be drowned out by a lot of other people as a man that is so instrumental in this international movement slash religion slash political, whatever, it is. I really think we need to pay a lot more attention to Mr. Leonard, for his great insight in starting this. Howell, thank you. I'm sitting here with my second, who I'm yet to introduce to the world. Don't worry, there are underlying reasons, but I'm sitting here with my second, who is himself an icon, yes, in this business, yes, and has done great wonders for the reggae music, for his country, and is himself an icon that is unsung here, revered in faraway lands, but unsung here, and he has a fantastic fashion sense, and CLAAT is integral to that. Yes, has played an important part in, don't get me wrong, the man have him sense in a fashion sense, but you don't know CLAAT in there and in the mix. All right, so that is really what our show is about, and we want to explore all of these issues, you know, and we are an international thing, so we might be starting at Rastafari, but this is going to give everybody an insight as to how Rasta mind work without, you know, because a lot of people just narrow us down as Rasta to Selassie, ganja smoking, and you know, but we are very technical people. For example, you know, Rastas are well learned people. A lot of them, you know, might not have been formally educated, but these are very learned people who have read vast materials and are well aware of a lot of things that the modern world is just coming to. You know, Rasta has held fast to it, you know, so this will give everybody an insight as to how Rasta might work in terms of all the different areas that Rasta travel, you know, to come up to a lot of what we come to, you know, both locally and internationally, and including in fashion, you know, because our lifestyle affects what we wear, you know, where we go, what we do, you know. So respect everybody on YouTube. So this is just an introduction as to what CLAAT Revolt is about. That's really what it's about. It is just about looking at fashion in this way from a Rastafarian perspective, and you know, searching the world, and we'll get back to you, you know, with our very first episode. So look forward to that. Yes, and thank you for just listening to my little introduction. And I've been off of TikTok for a little bit, but I'm back. Yes, so you can join me at TikTok at the same thing, CLAAT 876. I have a program there. It's called Tales of the CLAAT. Yes, you can tune in. Yeah, and we get the thing popping. All right, so this is just about coming on a journey with us, as we said, you know. It's just about our journey and just getting an insight to how we view things. Yes, there at the brand. All right, mad respect. Remember, when you leave out, don't be like anybody else. Wear yourself. Don't follow nobody. You understand? Wear yourself. Beauty is in everybody in their own special way. Be free to express yourself. I don't mean get crazy, guys. I don't mean no madness. I'm just like, you know, be free to express yourself, you know, as long as it's not crazy. Remember, you have got kids out there. Don't do no crazy things out there. Don't be, you know, remember, but just be yourself. Yeah, be free to express yourself, and don't be nobody else. Don't wear nobody else's identity. All right, big up yourself. Yes, CLAAT Revolt, CLAAT 876, Spiral Booking and Fashion, Modern Creation. Big up yourself. Inna the yard, big up yourself. All right, done now. Not my hat. I borrowed it. I borrowed it from my boss, from my second. I borrowed his hat. Yeah, like it. I'm gonna wear another one soon. All right, cool. I love you guys. I'm gone. I ramble a lot.